Bill McIntosh teaches AI non-stop. Success is his game, marketing's his fame. McIntosh, the marketing ace, follow his lead to the winning place with AI and a clever spin. Join him now, learn to win. Learn his way, don't delay. If you do, you'll make your fortune today.
Well, hello there. Welcome to the show. Do me a big favor and give me a big, warm hello in the live chat panel. And let's make sure that we have kicked things off and that the audience is here and that we're ready to rock. Let's just to make sure, because you never know. Sometimes I think I'm live and I'm talking to my camera. Let's see here. Oh, there we let's verify. Everybody see me? Producer Nick, maybe check in the chat if everybody sees and hears me. I saw something weird happening in the StreamYard studio. Okay, there we go. There we go.
Yeah, it looks like we can see you. I'm on the YouTube tab. I can see you.
Okay.
Looks like Bo can see you. My Duck can see you.
2 thumbs up. We're good to go. Okay, awesome. That's fantastic. Oh, before we get started, I have a very important question for you. Why don't eggs tell jokes?
Oh, why not?
Because they might crack up.
Okay. All right, that's decent.
Not even a chuckle. Okay.
I mean, it's decent. I'll give it that.
All right. So on a 0 to 10, where does it fall?
It's like a 6. It's like a light 6.
Okay. Okay. Slightly better than average. That's good. That's good. Audience, what do you think? Well, of course, welcome to the show. I'm your host, Bill McIntosh, and this is not about telling cheesy dad jokes. The show is about entrepreneurship. And I have been successfully building and growing businesses using cutting edge technology, the internet, AI, and modern marketing strategies for over 2 decades now. And I've basically tried every business model you could imagine, tried them all, tried every traffic strategy known to man. And over all this time, I've worked out how to build successful businesses. And I've built several multi-million-dollar businesses over the years. And we've generated over $100 million in revenue across those businesses. And I've been in niches from personal development to personal finance to consumer software to business software to helping people get jobs, helping people get money from the government, and dozens of other niche markets. And so now, recently, well, actually, this is going back a few years, I had this sort of moment where I had some soul searching that I was doing. Call it a midlife crisis, I don't know. But I was doing some soul searching and just really wanted to ask myself, what was the thing that I could do that would actually have the largest impact on the planet? Based on what my skills were and what I had at my disposal, what would be the thing that I could do that would have a big impact on the world? And as funny as it sounds, for me, that is by helping my fellow entrepreneurs, people like you. I want to find people that are like-minded to me that I can help. Maybe it's to build a business that you've already got that you really would like to grow and have it be successful. Maybe you want to take it to the next level, or maybe you haven't even started your first business yet. But it's by helping the entrepreneurs like you and myself is how we drive the economy forward. That's how we drive even the culture forward. And I think if you really take a good look at it and you look past through history, it is the innovator, the entrepreneur, whether you look at somebody who's an inventor or scientist who launches new technology to the world, or whether you look at somebody who is just a pure capitalist. Either way, they drive the culture and the society forward. They are the ones that help make sure that families across the globe can feed themselves. They can feed the fathers can feed their children, and their and mothers can take care of their families. It's largely on the back of the small business person and the entrepreneur. And I know the large giant corporations out there get a lot of attention these days, but let's face it, that's actually not where growth comes from. That's actually not where the future comes from. It's the entrepreneur, the small business person like you and I. And so it's now my mission to help as many entrepreneurs in my lifetime as I possibly can to build, grow, launch and become profitable like I have. And so I take my 20 plus years of hard knocks and different strategies, and I help bring them to you so that you can have some similar success. And that's what this show is all about. So welcome to the show. I am super glad you're here. And I've got some bribes for you. Well, I got one bribe for you today. So last week we gave out an iPad, and we had one lucky winner. And that was, let me see, remember who won that. That was, one second. Oh, I got way too many notifications going off here. There we go, Ken Davis. So congratulations, Ken. Ken's the winner of that prize. And Ken, we reached out to you to let you know how to get in touch with us to claim your prize. And we gave out your choice, either an iPad tablet or an Android, either whichever you prefer, whichever flavor is your favorite. And so we decided that today we're going to do it again. So again today, it'll be at the end of the broadcast. I have a fun little thing for you to do. And if you do it, you'll be able to win just like Ken did. So we will select. We have a random way of selecting, and we'll tell you more about it at the end of the show today. But if you stick around with me to the end of the show, you will also have a chance to win again another iPad or Android tablet. And I know producer Nick behind the scenes has been really curious if there are other kinds of prizes that you guys would be interested in. It could be anything. It could be another kind of a gadget, maybe one of those Aura rings. It could be a laptop. It could be like a vlogging kit to be able to do YouTube like I do. Could be whatever. It could be a marketing campaign, an ad campaign, having us build you a business. Sky's the limit. You tell me in the comments, in the live chat, what are some of the ideas of other prizes that you would like to win? And we'll be giving those out, actually. So we're going to take from your suggestions in the chat, and we will be doing that. You'll be hearing a lot about that very soon. We have a subscriber appreciation celebration that's about to kick off here in a couple of weeks. So we are very interested in what kind of fun, cool stuff, useful stuff, whatever you want. Just let me know. And there you go. So fantastic. And today's show, the topic of today's content is all about building an audience or being a creator. But more importantly, how do you not just get an audience on a place like YouTube? Could be that you have an email subscriber list that follows you. Could be on Instagram. Could be a blog that's very popular. But when you've captured the attention of an audience as a creator, influencer, whatever word you want to use, how do you make money? And it's shocking to me how many people I see that have large followings on the web. And again, could be from their social accounts. They could have a huge Twitter following, for example, or someone who has a blog and they've got a mailing list, and they're just not making any money. You would be shocked how many really large creators, they think that by making money with ads, right, like the YouTube ads that show on this channel, they think that by doing that they're going to get rich. And they just, in most cases, you just won't. On this channel, take this YouTube channel, we have a fairly small audience here. Well, if you look at our YouTube ad revenue, which I might share in a future episode, by the way, share what we make on this channel as a small channel. But if you looked at our ad revenue and you looked at the other ways that we are making money with this channel, and it dwarfs it. It's maybe 3% of the revenue that comes out of this channel from the activities that we do here. So the ad revenue is just a little slice of the pie. And so I think for most people, when they think about building an audience or becoming a creator, they're missing one key ingredient. And so today, that's what the content is going to be about. Not just about building an audience, but more importantly, how do you actually build an audience that generates you profit and revenue? That's at the end of the day. And even if you're doing that for fun, let's say you have a channel that you're doing for fun. Well, if you can monetize it, it helps you have resources, right? It helps you have, like, take, for example, this channel, right? It's it's fairly expensive for me to have a crew and a team. I got an editor, we've got a writer, we've got producer Nick behind the scenes helping out. We've got thumbnail designers, we have software tools. You add all that stuff up, it's not cheap. So being able to even monetize it if you're having some fun helps offset those costs and helps make it so that you don't have to dig deep to have an online presence. And then for some of you, maybe you want to cash in and make a lot of money with your audience. And we're going to get into that today. So that is the agenda for the day. And like always, we're going to be opening it up to your questions after today's content. So we'll be what we'll be doing is first we're going to ask if you have any questions relevant to the content, and then we'll open it up where you can ask me anything. And I would really, truly desire to help you with your business. And if you haven't yet started your business and you need some coaching or advice on what to do, or you've got a business that you want to scale it up, and again, you want a little bit of feedback, advice, critiques, whatever it might be, we will do that at the end of this show. Cool. I think that's it for the agenda. So what we'll do really quickly is I'm going to take a really short commercial break, and then we're going to be right back with today's content, which is all about monetizing an audience, getting the most amount of money possible from building an audience. And let's go see, which one am I going to go to? I'll go to the presidents, and we'll be right back right after this short message.
The presidents, celebrities, or characters in this video are all fake and generated by artificial intelligence.
You know, the other day while I was resting my eyes, I woke up to find that I'd built an entire online business.
Really, Joe? How'd you manage to do that?
Well, you see,
Wait a minute, Sleepy Joe. Let me guess. You had PushButton AI do all the work, didn't you?
That's right, Donald. It found me a fantastic domain name, built out a complete site, set up my shopping cart so I can get paid, and even wrote an entire email sales campaign for me, all while I was napping.
Well, I've been using PushButton AI too. And believe me, my new business, it's huge. The best. So much winning, you wouldn't believe.
This PushButton AI sounds phenomenal.
Oh, it is. It's almost as genius as I am.
But with better hair, no doubt.
Guys, all this talk is boring to me. What everyone needs to do is click the link of this video and go to the masterclass to see how to use this powerful technology to build their own profitable online business.
Well, if Elon says it, it must be worth a shot.
You're right, Barry. Everyone should click the link right now.
I can't believe I'm going to agree with Joe, but this masterclass sounds like it's going to be huge. Absolutely terrific. The best masterclass ever given, probably.
Okay, guys, how about we hit that link? Time is money.
Fumbling around with the controls here, but all right. So we're having a YouTube ad break. So some of you might be seeing ads, some of you may not be, and everybody will be back with us in just a moment. And yeah, producer Nick, that looks like an old version of that commercial, by the way.
Oh, oops.
It's a non-animated version, but it is nice. Isn't it nice to see the presidents getting along like that? That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So with that, we will get started with today's content. And a reminder, a little bit later, we're going to be giving away an iPad or Android tablet to one lucky viewer. But you got to be here. We have a quick little thing you'll need to do at the end of this after I deliver the content we're about to go through, and you'll be qualified to win. And let's see here. Let me get the right thing going. Okay. All right. Looking at some notes, and now we will get started. So a reminder, while I'm recording content, that this is content that will be reused. We're going to be sending it to our editors and our content team for them to slice up, edit up, make it all nice. And it may end up in courses of mine. It may end up on my social media and lots of places. We repurpose and reuse this content. And so if you see me making notes or repeating lines, things like that, you know I'm not going crazy, actually making notes for my editors after the fact. All right. So here we go. If you have ever thought about building and monetizing an audience online, and that could be anywhere, whether it's an audience on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter or X or Twix or whatever we're calling it now. Heck, it could be a popular blog. Could be that you have an email list. But if you've ever thought about building an audience and making lots of money from it, then you want to watch this video. Because in it, I'm not going to only talk about how to build an audience, but for those of you who have an audience and you really want to monetize them, because let's face it, it is awesome to have attention from a group of like-minded people that you have fun with, you enjoy spending time with. But what about making the money, right? So you'd be shocked how many creators, how many influencers there are out there on the web with big audiences, and they're making next to nothing. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to make the maximum amount of profit starting quickly right out of the gate. And that's what we're going to cover in today's video. So hang around and I'll show you all about how to make the maximum amount of money. And in fact, I started out with a small audience myself, and I'm going to tell you how I leveraged that small audience into over $1 million a year in income. Interested in that? Stick around and we'll get right into it. All right, now the first thing I want to talk about is there are two big problems. Once you have built an audience, assuming that you have been posting in social media and you're starting to build an audience, you're generally going to run into two main problems. First up, you might not be making nearly as much money as you thought. You might have thought that it would have been very lucrative and very profitable to build that audience. And you might be shocked at how little you're making. And if you're in that boat, we're going to fix that for you. And then the second problem that you might have is you're borrowing someone else's audience. And in many cases, if you're getting traffic from YouTube, for example, or Instagram or TikTok, or maybe you're relying on Google search traffic, you're borrowing someone else's audience. And if you don't solve that like that, you could lose that audience. YouTube wakes up on the wrong side of the bed, and fairly or unfairly, you get a penalty, you get a strike, you get a ban, and that happens on all of the platforms. And you've lost your audience overnight. And so what I'm going to cover today solves both of these problems. Not only how to build your audience, but how to make it your own. No matter what horrible thing might happen with social media, whether it's a temporary or permanent ban somewhere, or some copyright strike, or whatever trouble that you might be having with an audience, how do you capture that audience and make it yours so you'll never lose it? So we'll be talking about both of those today. I have a slide deck with a bunch of some case studies, some training, and some other information. And I want to let you know that I'm going to make it available to you 100% free. So if you would like to get the deck that I'm about to share with you, including all the references, resources, any show notes we might have, then all you need to do is subscribe to our free newsletter. It is absolutely 100% free. All you need to do is go to we're going to reshoot that. Note for editor, we'll reshoot that. All you need to do is head on over and subscribe. And to find it, just go to pushbutton.ai/subscribe. That's pushbutton.ai/subscribe. Also, I'll pop the link to it down in the description below, so that you can click it and make that easy. But all you got to do is subscribe over there. It's a free newsletter. It's called Ingeniosity. We send it out every week, and it's packed full of trends and the latest on how to build and grow a successful business. So get that for free, and let's continue. So I'll share my screen now, and we'll get into the meat of today's content. Okay, audience, give me a minute here while I share this screen. There we go. I'm actually on a new machine doing this today, so I'm a little not used to it. There we go. And producer Nick, you might want to hide yourself there. Okay. All right. Okay, so in this deck, we're going to be walking through exactly what you need to do to properly capture and monetize an audience from any of the current platforms. So first up, let's launch this into presentation mode. Let me get it going here. We'll go back a few. Okay. Now, making money doing what you love is the ultimate dream. And when you have captured an audience in a niche market that you're passionate about or that you have interest in, it's a hobby, maybe it's a profession or something that you're knowledgeable about, when you have that audience and you can just enjoy hanging out, spending time, educating, enlightening, entertaining that audience, and you can make a good amount of money doing it, right? But sadly, most creators today are not. Most of them are making just a tiny fraction of what they thought they would, except for guys like Jack Butcher. Now, Jack Butcher is a guy behind a social media brand called Visualize Value. So he actually put out graphics, infographics, things like this through his channels, and he built an okay following. So Jack was able to actually take his following that he built and pull in over $40,000 in just 7 days, all by the method we're going to talk about here today. So here is actually a tweet from him where he said that he's sharing with the audience about his launch that he did of a product that he launched called Design Fundamentals, which I'll explain more about in a minute. He made $43,659 with this strategy. Okay. And it is absolutely possible for you to make money as a content creator or influencer or whatever you would like to call it. You could do this just like Jack. But the question is, how? How do you properly monetize an audience like this? Making money as a content creator is one of the most amazing opportunities in today's economy. But there's a couple of problems with it that we talked about before. Number one, you're borrowing someone else's audience. They're not yours. As long as you continue to engage with them on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or Twitter or X or whatever we're calling it, they are just a borrowed audience. And if you offend the platform, then you could lose that entire audience. And two, there are lots of creators with big audiences who just don't know how to properly make money. So we're going to cover exactly how you do that. You do it simply by giving away cool stuff for free. Sounds simple, right? And actually, when you follow the training I'm about to give you, it is. It is fairly straightforward, fairly simple, and we're going to show you today how you can even use AI to help you do this. Now, the technique that I use, this is straight out of my playbook that I have been using for over 20 years now. I give away free stuff. I give away stuff that's valuable. I give away things that are enlightening, educational, entertaining to some degree. And I do that to incentivize for people to communicate with me. Meaning, if I meet them on YouTube, I'd love to get them on my newsletter email list, or I love to get them to sign up to my SMS text messaging list, or other ways of being able to communicate with them. And that's how we take an audience, move it off of social media, and capture it. And the number one strategy is to get them to join your email list. Okay. And here you can see a little quote from Alex Hormozy. He says, if you're starting out, give your stuff away for free. When people say no, ask them why. And he goes into that this is a great marketing tool to learn your way as you go. If you can't give something away and people aren't willing to sign up to get it for free, you really need to know why so that you can fix and improve that. It helps you build your audience faster and helps you resonate with them, and it helps you make more money much faster. So that's exactly what I did. So I took a small audience that I built, and this is going back some years ago there was a live streaming platform called Ustream that has since been bought up, but I built a small audience from there, And I took that audience and I leveraged it into something that generates over $1 million a year in revenue. Now, I used a very special technique that allowed me to go from renting my audience. Instead, I turned it into an audience that I owned, and I've gone on to make millions of dollars as a result. And I've used techniques like this in many different niche markets over and over again. And then over the years, I've generated over $100 million cumulatively across all of my different businesses. And this was the core beginning strategy of every one of those businesses, was to give something away of value, entertaining, enlightening, educational, whatever it might be, and to give it away for free to initiate and build my own audience, to capture my audience. As an example, here's another case study we can look at. This is Dickie Bush, and he actually makes $500,000 a month doing this, okay? So $500,000 to $600,000 every month by giving away a free email course and then upselling his students on paid offers. And that's what we're going to get into today, is how can you do this? Even if you don't know the first thing about how to write a course, how to create content, how to do this kind of stuff, I'm going to go in depth and show you exactly what to do step by step so that you can actually have your own giveaway, a giveaway that is valuable, a giveaway that will set you up to capture your audience and then make a lot of money from them. I personally advise you give away courses. Okay? I know there are a lot of things that people give away. You'll often see people doing free reports. You'll see them giving away, little ebooks, things like that. For me, I believe you should give away an actual course. And this is for a lot of reasons. First off, it's a lot of value. It's also something that can be broken down. You have a course, you break it into modules, and your audience can consume it one module at a time. It also is a great way to have a bond with them. When they actually go through your course, it is an experience where they begin to know, like, and trust you. They recognize you as a person of authority, and it really does cement that bond when you've pulled them off of social media and you're now engaging with them on other channels and through giving a course away for free. And, there's a lot of people that sell courses. And in fact, there's even a lot of backlash in social media about selling courses. But when you lead by giving the course away for free, it creates an awesome bond with your audience. And then it's an awesome way to move them off into your own list. Now let's go back to that screen, get the right screen there. Here we go, okay? So when you do it this way, these tend to be really valuable leads. It's a much more valuable lead than, say, giving away a free report or a little downloadable PDF or something. People that commit to taking an entire course, they're investing time, which indicates they're interested in you and what you have to offer. Now, again, if you're not sure what to write about or how to put this all together, I'm going to explain it in detail in just a little bit, okay? And this actually helps you establish authority in your niche, in your industry. Now, you can also repurpose the content of this giveaway course. You can take out little bits and pieces and share it for free on social media, and then have people go download it to get the entire course. Also, it allows you to cross-promote products. So imagine, for example, you are in the survival or the prepper niche, and you have a course that is all about how to bug out of town for people who live in the city, head out into the wilderness and survive, right? Let's say you're doing a course, a free giveaway course on that. There are probably lots of products that someone might want to buy who was interested in that. The kit, the outdoor supplies, the bug out bag itself that you pack all your stuff and head out of town, you bug out. All of these things are products that you can plug right in your course. You're going to give the course away and load it chock full of what are called affiliate links. And when people click those links and they buy the products, you get paid a commission. So you can actually make money right straight out of the course that you're giving away for free. And then once the person has consumed the course, you've made money from affiliate links that are sprinkled throughout it. But now you can sell them more and more and more stuff. And we'll get into a little bit more about that and how you actually make these. The other thing that I find that this tends to do is it builds a loyal audience. When you give away this much value, you give away an entire valuable course for free, it builds loyalty. Okay, here we note for editor, you can clean that up. The very first step is once you know your niche market, your niche, depending upon if you say it properly or not, but I'll say niche. So once you know your niche, who are you going to serve? Then you dig in. And step one is to find 5 of the biggest problems that they face related to your niche market. So, this might be in the prepping and survival market. What are the 5 biggest things that, people have problems about being prepared? And some examples might be they don't know the first thing about what to do to get started. Maybe they don't know which products are the ones that they should be using. Maybe they're unsure of when they bug out of town where they should go, right? There's probably, I'm just making this up and guessing, but I'm going to talk in a minute a specific way of how you can dig in and find these problems, okay? So you find 5 problems and 5 goals that your niche market or your audience has. So you have a total of 10, 5 problems, 5 goals. Now, let me do this. I'm going to take it off of screen sharing take it off of presentation mode for a moment. And then let me see, I don't know where I have ChatGPT. Let me find a window where I'm logged into ChatGPT. Should have done this ahead of time. Which, by the way, audience, I just moved. So I'm in a brand new studio in a brand new room, even though my backdrop looks very similar. Yeah, it's been quite a week. I literally just set this desk up moments before going live. One second here. Okay, I am logged in. So let's do a new, I'm going to pull this over here. Okay, and what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you how to use any of the major AI tools out there. And in this case, we're going to use ChatGPT, but you could use Anthropic's Claude, Google Gemini. There's a lot of different choices out there. You can use any of them to do what I'm about to show you. Again, I'll demonstrate it using OpenAI's ChatGPT. So all you need to do is you come in here and you describe who your audience is. And we start with, you are an expert at market research. And we want to spell expert correctly. Don't even have to spell properly. Please help me investigate the market of people who are interested in, and now you describe your audience. And in this case, I'll do survivalism and prepping, particularly those who want to learn how to bug out and survive in a catastrophe. Please give me a list of their biggest problems related to this. And that's it. So we were telling the AI about the audience, and then we're asking them or him, her, whatever, whoever it is, to give us this list. And it's going to give you a list. And it's pretty darn good. So you can see here, we have lack of knowledge and skills, right? That was my speculation, and I was right. Inadequate preparedness. Financial constraints, because it's a high cost of producing quality survival gear. Remember, that leads right into promoting and talking about. Let me see if I can make this bigger here. And it goes on and on. And so at this point, what you want to do is pick 5, the 5 that seem like the most important, the most valuable, the biggest problems that they might have. And you pick them and you just copy and paste them into a Microsoft Word or a Google Doc or whatever it is you want to put it to save it off to the side. So we're going to take those biggest problems. So we're going to narrow it down to the top 5. Okay. And if you already have an audience, you do the same thing. You don't have to like make it up and pick a niche. You can just describe and tell the AI about your audience. Step 2. Oh, wait a minute. There's a second part of this, and that is we're going to also find their goals, right? So we have their 5 problems now, and now we're going to say, right in the same window, now please tell me about the biggest goals, especially those that might have some kind of emotion attached to them. That's important because if we want to market and persuade them, they're going to be much more likely to be persuaded about things they have emotion attached to. So we're going to submit that. And here we go. Got the same thing. It's going to make me a list. So now, again, I do the same thing. I go through this list and I pick out 5. I pick out 5 of the ones that I think are the best or the biggest, the most juicy, the ones that I personally, want to talk to my audience about. Pick 5. And so now you've got your 5 problems and your 5 goals. Now, step 2, this can be a little bit confusing when we talk about a benefit. And so think of a benefit as something very simple. Once someone solves the problem or achieves the goal, what do they get? What is the emotional state they experience? What is the, do they get a tangible physical benefit, right? Do they get an experience? Do they get a feeling? Do they get an emotion? Do they have a sense of security? Do they feel like they can protect and provide for their family? Right? You see and the more emotional it can be, the more experience driven it is, the better, right? Now, tangible benefits are good, right? Like maybe the tangible benefit is you have a new car, okay? But then think about all the emotional benefits that go along with having a new car, right? There are lots of them. People often buy cars and make choices about cars for purely emotional reasons. Whether that's because of safety and security of their family, or whether it's because they want to have a status symbol, or whether they're a young guy who wants to hot rod around town to show off, but largely a lot of those decisions are actually driven by emotion, even though they're Holy cow. All right. Sorry about that, guys. That's crazy. Am I coming through okay, Nick?
Yep, loud and clear. Oh, can you hear me?
Hear you. Oh boy. I don't know if you hear me.
We can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
Hmm. Okay. This is great, isn't it? Let's try. Put our audio settings here. Apologies, everyone. Okay, I don't know why audio did not come back on.
We can hear you. I think it's you. For some reason, you can't hear me. I'm probably talking to myself right now, honestly.
Okay, well then we are going to proceed without producer Nick. I'm just going to carry on. And let me just get Discord going over here so I can communicate with him behind the scenes. Okay, great. Wow. So, of course, many of you heard I'm in a new studio. So this is a new location. We just moved the entire office. And I'm literally broadcasting from a laptop computer. And I've got the charger plugged into the laptop. Bad move. I did not plug the charger into the wall. Okay, so the laptop was not charging, ran out of battery life, and died while we were live. So embarrassing mistake, but there we go. But yes, so that's what happened. Don't know why I lost audio, but it seems like you guys are hearing me and seeing me okay. So we're just going to jump right back into the content where I left off. Okay. So note to editor, you have some editing to do. Okay, so let's see, where was I? That's right, benefits. Okay, so we'll pick it up from here. Thanks everybody for being patient. Very embarrassing, and I'm very sorry for having you sit and stare at a blank screen. So with that, we'll get into it. Okay. So again, the benefits are something that is, in the best case, has an emotion attached, or at least an experience attached to it. Much more than just the tangible physical products. It's the emotion attached as well. Now, it can be tangible, but if you can find emotional benefits, that's even better. And so what we can do now is we can do the same thing. We can go to AI and we can discover the benefits attached to the unique problems and goals that we picked before. So I'm going to do this very quickly just to demonstrate as an example. Let me just get my screen sharing going again. And there's that screen. And we'll pull it over here. There we go. And share screen here. And in this case, we're again going to go to ChatGPT, and we're just going to now ask it. So you can come back into a new window and feed ChatGPT your previous 5 problems and goals. Or in this case, just really quickly, I'm going to ask it to do this for me in the same window. So I'm just going to say, please take 5 problems and 5 goals from above and give me a benefit they would experience if they solved that problem or achieved that goal. Pay particular attention to the emotions they might experience, and submit that. And now we're going to get that. Okay. So an example here, handling their lack of knowledge and skills would give them confidence, empowerment, and security. Right. So this is a huge deal. So, and it describes the benefit and tells you more about the emotion. Now, why are we doing this? That is the $1 million question. Quite literally, the $1 million question. If we understand the deep desires of our audience in ways that maybe they don't even fully communicate or talk about with others, but if we really have a deep understanding of the problems they want to solve, the goals they want to achieve, and those feelings, those experiences, those benefits that they want to get, and then we can create a course that offers to help them with these things. And that's what we're going to be doing here. And that we're going to then give away to them. So can you see why doing it this way, where you're going to give them something of such immense value, something that is so personally important to them, that it helps to build loyalty and a bond with you. Now, many people would tell you to sell this course, and you certainly could. But in this case, I recommend giving it away for free. So let's continue. Let's see. Oh, got to go back in presentation mode. Okay. Step 3. Now with this one, we're going to come up with a lesson that covers each of the 5 problems and 5 goals. So a total of 10 lessons that we're going to create. And we're going to create one lesson about each of those problems, those goals, the emotional benefits attached to them, and we're going to help them. Now, I want you to realize that this doesn't mean that in the lesson, you're going to solve their life's problems. All right. Chances are, in a course, especially you're going to give away for free, you're not going to like completely, crack a lifelong problem and a deep-seated emotional goal and handle it in a short little lesson. But what you can do is enlighten them about it, educate them about it, and move them closer, giving them the knowledge that they need, the feeling of confidence that they need, a little bit of insight into what they should do next. And you're just moving them ever so gently closer to solving that problem or achieving that goal. And that's really all you can do. Now, if you can create a lesson that actually solves the problem and actually puts massive impact on their lives, then do that. By no means should you hold back. But you don't have to, is my point. We just need to get them closer, get them more educated, get them feeling more confident about it, and moving them closer to those things. Okay. And so with these lessons, the same thing can be done here with AI. We can go into AI, we can give the AI some information. We could say, here's the problem that we're trying to solve. Here is the niche market that we're trying to help. Please create a lesson for a course and that helps them solve this problem and achieve this benefit. And then the AI can create that course or that lesson for you. And you're going to do that 10 times, one for each lesson. Now, back to the slides. What I like to do when I'm generating my lessons is I like to break them into pieces. So I'll ask ChatGPT to give me an outline and say, hey, if I want to do, create a lesson that helps someone solve having more confidence and knowledge about what they need to do to be prepared, what are the 5 things I should talk about? And I ask it to break it down. And that's a great way to do it. I break it down, each lesson into 5 pieces, and then I have the AI write each of those 5 pieces. I put them all together, and that becomes my lesson. Okay. And now you got to sell it. But you can do that with the AI as well, because you're now armed with all of the important information that should go into a sales letter. So you can literally just go to ChatGPT and say, here are the emotional problems and goals. Here are the benefits my audience is seeking. I want to give this course away for free. And you still need to sell it right? Even though you're giving it away for free, you need to make a page that sells it, right? Use air quotes, sells it. So that when someone reads it, they're like, oh, I want that. And then they see, and it's free? Wow, that's cool. And then they take it for free. And to do this, you can literally type the information you've learned back into ChatGPT and say, hey, I want to tell someone about this course. Write a sales letter that explains how valuable it is and then gives it away for free. And then it will do that for you, and it'll write all those contents for you. Okay, let's continue. So we're going to pull that package together now. And there are a lot of ways to do that. My favorite way to do this is with WordPress and a plugin in WordPress called Sensei. So if you don't know what these things are, don't worry about it. But WordPress is a tool that helps you build and run websites. And Sensei is what's called a learning management system. So also called an LMS, which helps you put courses in that people can take on your website. So I recommend you set up a WordPress website, use a tool called Sensei, and you can load up all your lessons, your sales letter, and all that stuff on there so that you can launch it. Now, there is an alternative that I want to talk about, and there is an AI tool, and full disclosure, it is my tool. I am the founder and creator of it. But there is a way to do what I just talked about and a lot more hands-free. So how would you like to learn how to do this? The market research, the problems and goals, the benefits, creating the course, creating a 12-module course, not just 10 modules, a 12-module course, writing every single lesson, publishing it all, creating a video lesson, creating an audio lesson, creating the logo for your new website, launching it all, even hooking it up to an email system that can email all of the people who sign up to get your free course. And what if it could do it? Note for editor, we'll fix that. And what if it could do it like that? Well, that's exactly what our new tool, PushButton AI, does for you. And with PushButton AI, it can literally build all of this, your entire giveaway course, all the materials that goes with it. It sets up your website, builds the site, designs the site, helps you pick a domain name, creates your logo, writes a 30-day email sequence for you to follow up with all the people that joined your mailing list, and lots more. And it does it all. All you have to do is answer 2 questions, and you hit a button, and the rest is done by the AI. It's magical. And so if you would like to learn how to do this, so that you can monetize your own audience, so that you can build your own audience and monetize an audience. Maybe you haven't even started building an audience yet, and this has got you so excited that you want to jump in and do this. Well, I'll teach you inside PushButton AI exactly how to do that. So if you don't yet have an audience, I will teach you how to build one and then monetize it with this strategy. And the beauty of this is when you give away these courses for free, every person ends up on your email list. They must sign up to get the course for free, and they're on your email list, and you now can communicate with them separately from the social media channel. So if you got them from Facebook, you now have a separate way to communicate with that person. They came from Instagram or YouTube or wherever they came from, you have now captured that audience and you have them on your list. I can tell you that this is by far the most profitable thing I ever did in my businesses. A large part, more than half of the income of those $100 million in revenue that I've made has come as a result of me capturing that audience and having them on an email list. So I highly recommend this. And if you'd like to learn more about PushButton AI, you have 2 choices. Choice 1, if you would like to watch a free masterclass, we actually have that going on right now. So you can go register, sign up, watch the masterclass, learn all about how the tool works, and see a presentation from me about that tool. And to get that, you'll just go to pushbutton.ai/free class. That's pushbutton.ai/free class. And we'll pop that link into the description below as well, so you can easily tap it and go check that out. Note for editor, we'll obviously clean that up. And the other option that you have is to sign up to jump on one-on-one, have a demo where we'll show you exactly how the technology works. We'll show you how you use it to build a course that you can either give away or sell. We'll show you how it does all of this stuff for you hands-free, because I've made some pretty big, bold claims here. And so I think a lot of people would like to just see it with their own eyes live on a Zoom call. So if you'd like to jump on live with someone and learn more about how this works, we'll even give you a marketing plan. We'll talk through what you're trying to accomplish, and you'll walk away with a free marketing plan. And maybe if it's a good fit, we'll invite you in to join our early access program, and you can get PushButton AI from there. So those are the two choices. Choice one, attend the free masterclass. Choice two, sign up and get a live one-on-one demo. And we'll put that down below as well. But the link to get the demo, by the way, is pushbutton.ai/demo. So you have those two choices down below. You'll see in the description. We'll pop it as well into the chat. And yeah, it is pushbutton.ai/free class or /demo. Either one gets you to those places. And I hope this content was useful. I hope you got some value out of it. And I want to remind you that if you're not yet a subscriber, tap that red subscribe button, because we release content like this all the time. And I hope to see you in one of my future videos. And if you got value today, please hit that like button. It does really help with the YouTube algorithm to help get the word out. I'm building a community around this channel, and I hope to keep growing my audience here. And so make sure that you have liked it. And if you have any questions at all about how to use this strategy, drop them in the comments and let me know your biggest, juiciest questions, or even if they're little questions, any questions that you have for me about this strategy, pop those into the comments as well. And I look forward to seeing you in our next video. Goodbye for now. All right, audience, I'm not going anywhere. We are going to be doing Q&A, and we're going to be giving away some stuff. So producer Nick, I know you launched a video today, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't talk to you. That's right. So you have to answer on Discord because I can't hear you.
Okay.
So producer Nick, just a reminder here, if you want to, I'll give it to you. Make sure you get your link ready for that new video that just dropped, and do the special link, if you know what I mean. So producer Nick, please get that ready. And so we're going to be doing our Q&A, and then I'll be talking about how you get a chance to win another iPad, just like the one we gave away last week. Okay. And that was, by the way, I wonder if Ken is here. Ken Davis, are you here? You were live with us last week. I haven't been able to look at the chat, but Ken is here. Maybe he's here. Let me know in the chat. But with that, that's our agenda. So, I just realized that I am not on camera again. So that's our agenda going forward. We're going to be doing your questions. So if you have any questions right now about the tactic that we're talking about, pop those into the comments. I'm going to take a very fast commercial break, and then we'll be right back answering all of your questions and giving out that iPad. So stick with us, and we'll be right back.
You can now launch your own online business with the click of a mouse. Sounds crazy, right? Guess what? It's now possible thanks to our game-changing AI software that's helping beginners build a successful online business. If you have tried and failed at building an online business, or you've got no idea where to start, there is good news for you. We are entering a new exciting era of AI, and I'm here to teach you how to use it to build and grow an online business. Because I'm handing you a blueprint, a business in a box powered by AI, and it's called PushButton AI. Imagine a tool so smart it does all the heavy lifting for you. Builds an info product business, sets up hosting, launches the website, and even crafts engaging email sequences. Here's the thing. This isn't like anything else out there, and this is based on what's working right now. PushButton AI is based on my experience of generating over $100 million over the last 20 years and helping over 81,942 customers build and grow their own online businesses. If you'd like to find out more about this, register now and dive into my free live demo to uncover strategies and traffic tricks that will pivot your business and skyrocket your online business from surviving to thriving. Imagine what your life would look like today if you bought Bitcoin when it was $1. You now have the same opportunity with PushButton AI since nobody else is doing this. Don't miss out this time.
Well, I am not used to using this laptop. All right. And we're back. And I just realized that normally I have producer Nick read the questions for me, but I cannot hear him. So how are we going to do this? Let's see. Got to see if there's something I've done here to. Trying to work out how I get audio coming through again. Let's see here. Yeah, it looks like it should be working, but for whatever reason, it is not.
What about now?
Oh, now I hear you.
Huh. Okay. Well, that's weird. But I'm
All
glad it's
right,
working.
awesome. Okay, well then we can do the questions after all. So let's jump into it.
Yes, DE Production has two great questions back to back. So I'll start with the first one. Number one, can you please go through the next steps after the course is complete, i.e., create a landing page, get clients' email address, send them emails about your other stuff, etc.
Yes, so we talked about making what I call it a sales page. That's essentially your landing page. And so you would use WordPress and paste that into WordPress. And you just put your email subscriber box at the bottom. So that is what happens there. If you would like more technical oriented kind of training about that, then maybe we can jump on doing a session about how to do landing pages in WordPress. I mean, and the beauty of if you use PushButton AI, that's just done for you. Like it's just done. You don't have to worry about that. But if there is interest in that, we can add it to our content lineup to try to do a more technical thing. But yeah, you take what ChatGPT gave you for your sales, saying, when you told it to write a quote unquote sales letter that gives away the course for free. You just paste that into a page on WordPress, and then you drop in your opt-in box at the bottom. But yeah, the problem is it varies so much depending on which tool you're using. If you're using ClickFunnels or Groove, or what email system are you using? So it depends a little bit on all of those different, options. But that's basically the steps. And then you said there was one more.
Yes, he had a follow-up. He says, how can I combine a free course, a free newsletter, and a premium paid newsletter to create momentum and a huge tribe? Thanks.
Well, I would say I would blend those things. I would say join my newsletter and get this course for free, right? You could try marketing it that way, or get this course and get my newsletter for free, right? So you could blend them that way. And I would make that if they sign up for your course, they're just go on your newsletter list. If they sign up for your newsletter, they just get the course. Kind of the two go hand in hand, so to speak. And then you can always upsell them, right? So when they join the newsletter for free or join the course for free, you then offer an upsell to go into your paid membership. So that'd be the way I would structure it, is bundle those two and and then go for an upsell after they sign up. And then follow up, right? If you don't get the upsell immediately, have a follow-up sequence that does that.
All right. And
what else do we have?
That is it when it comes to questions.
Wow, quiet today. So then I want to do this. We'll throw it to open questions. So if there's anything that's been bugging you this week about trying to build your business, set up your website, establish what niche market you want to go into, anything at all, ask it now. So pop those questions in now. Could be on any topic. I'll do my darndest to help you and make sure that you can keep moving your business forward. That is the goal. So pop any question in now that you have at about anything related to growing, starting, scaling your business, ads, paid traffic, sales strategies, whatever it might be, pop those in now. And then we're going to be doing our giveaway in just a couple of minutes. Cool. Today is one of those days that it's like a test, and I think all entrepreneurs face it. So for me, it was quite a scramble to get my whole studio set back up. And I missed the mark. I actually did not get my desktop set up, which is what I usually manage my stream with. I did get my laptop set up, which is what I do my camera runs through. And then obviously I forgot to plug in the charger to the laptop today. So I was tested in many ways and challenged by things not going right. Some of them weren't my fault. Some of the technical stuff were things I don't know why they happened. But some of them were. Obviously, me being silly and not plugging in my laptop. Point is, we all as entrepreneurs are going to go through frustrating challenges. And we're all going to encounter technologies that we don't understand, or new tools that we don't know how to use, or we need to learn new marketing strategies that take a little bit of study to get them right. And a lot of times it's a lot of trial and error. Some of my biggest breakthroughs in my businesses, the ones that were the most profitable, was because I thought I was facing some adversity. I didn't quite have a solution, and I just started experimenting and just trying different things, trying to solve and go over or under or around or try to solve a problem. And then I have a big breakthrough. And that's some of my most profitable moments in business have come from that. And so I want to remind you of that. If you're facing, adversity, whether it's caused by yourself not plugging in your laptop, or whether it's caused by some technology thing that's breaking that you can't figure out, you will face it. If you're not facing it today, it will be tomorrow or next week. And it's what you do in those moments is what determines whether you'll succeed or fail. It is those moments. Every entrepreneur that I know who has quit or failed or lost, it's because of something they did in one of those moments. And that's where most, especially new entrepreneurs, where it gets us. We're starting out a brand new venture with things we don't quite fully understand. We encounter some adversity, some struggle, some confusion. And many times the result, the mental solution that your mind is going to try to make you do is to go off and do something else. Find a new shiny object to pursue, or just quit and go, I throw in the towel. We just had a customer, I won't call them out by name, but we just had a customer last week who built a site, had things going, tried their first ad campaign, and it didn't quite go as expected. And their immediate reaction was, that's it, I'm done, I quit, right? This doesn't work, right? That was kind of the reaction. But the same thing, every aspect of your business, you will face things that don't go the way you expect. And it's how you react to them, or don't react. That's the proper way to think about it. But instead, by evaluating it, analyzing it, and going forward is how you will win. If you're like the person that said, this doesn't work, I tried it and it doesn't work, and you go away, you failed. And that's the only way that you're going to fail. Now, on that, we'll go back to questions. Were there any questions that came in while I've been talking?
Yeah. One of them is actually one I've been thinking about. We'll get to that later, but there's a few that came first. Blake wants to know, how would you promote the free course using PPC, Google Ads specifically?
So first of all, I would be digging into those problems and goals we talked about earlier. And I would do some brainstorming for what are the keyword phrases that people that are having those problems might type in. How to, blah, blah, blah. And so I would dig there. I would probably go to AI and ask AI, what are some examples of words and phrases people might search for if they were experiencing this problem, right? It'd be a great place to start. Use some keyword tools to build up your keyword lists, which, by the way, I'm working on a keyword tool, an AI keyword tool that does exactly what I'm talking about. But we'll talk about that another day. But so that's what you want to do is create that list of keyword phrases, but I would want to focus them around that set of problems and goals and target them. That would be the first ones I would go for. And I would launch my ad campaigns and I would bid on those keywords. And then I would make my ads promise solutions to those problems or goals. And so when they click and come to your course, they see your course that you're giving away as that solution, right? Even though it's free, it's the solution to that problem or that goal. And you could write some really good copy because you now know also the benefits. Remember those juicy emotional benefits that people want to feel and experience when they solve those problems and achieve those goals? Well, you weave that into your ads and use that language, write in your ads and promise solutions to those problems and the promised benefits. And then run the ads and test and realize that you probably the very first time you start getting traffic, it's not going to work very well, right? I want to say that just going forward, any traffic strategy that is out there, 9 times out of 10, the results immediately are that it doesn't work. And then it's what you do next is where you either succeed or fail. And so when you run your ads, probably your cost per subscriber is going to be high. And so it's now studying why. Are there bid changes you can make? Are there particular words and phrases that, maybe are generating a lot of clicks, but are maybe were a bad choice for targeting and remove those? Are there negative keywords that you can put in your campaign? And it's by maybe adjusting your ads, maybe even tweaking the landing page a little bit. And it's by making those series of adjustments, you improve, you measure, you improve, measure again, improve, measure again, and then you will achieve profitability. So there you go. Next question.
Yes. All right. So this is a question from DE Production. That I've had a question about this myself because I want to go and do collaborative guest content. Mm-hmm. And they say, if you do an interview with an expert, what do you offer them? Good PR, money, percentage of sales, joint venture? What do you do?
All of those are good ideas, right? So one example I can give you is I did an interview series, and all I offered was to hang out and do an interview. That's all I offered. And I said I would put them in front of my audience. That's it. And we got 12 people that had some clout, had audiences, had some clout, were experts in their fields, and they all did interviews with me. I think we reached out to 20 to 25 creators, and of those, 12 of them did interviews with me. And that's all we offered them was just, a chance to hang out and do an interview and an exposure to my audience. That's it. Now, and I didn't even have to really get into who the audience was, how big it was. They didn't ask. So there's one example, and that's a very simple one. You can do all of those other things that you said. If you find that it's not good enough, you're not able to land interviews from that strategy, well, then you can up the ante, and offer them some kind of a dedicated promotion, offer them, a chance maybe you'll promote their products if you have a way to do that. So yeah, just kind of think about what how could you benefit them? And it's not always a one-to-one trade. Sometimes it's very creative. Is there some way you could help them? Is there some insight you could help them with? Some whatever it might be. And you just have to look at what can you do to help them and offer them that.
All right. Well, on that note, because I know there's like video or audio collaboration, like kind of like what we're doing now. But I've seen content where it's it's like a text interview, like an interview over email, right?
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of ways to do it. Yeah, you can totally do audio, you can do video, you can do just text based. Yeah, any of those things can be valuable.
I think if someone is concerned, because they might feel like asking them for 30 minutes of their time is like a big ask. What I feel like is not that much of a big ask is just like emailing them with a question that with, all they need to do is give you like a few paragraphs back. That's a very like low risk ask.
I mean, you could say you want to do a text interview will take only 5 minutes of your time. That actually helps, helps with that. But I think a lot of people overcomplicate this a bit, and I just say overcomplicate it, and they think they have to do a lot, give a lot. If you're trying to, I would obviously not try to go get Joe Rogan to come do an interview with me. That might be a bit difficult, right? But if I'm going after people who have, audiences, even that are a little bigger than me, not giant audiences, I wouldn't go to someone with, millions of viewers, but people that there are lots of interesting, useful people that you can interview that, maybe have an audience that's the same size, double or triple the size of your audience. And it's so simple to talk to them. It's very, very simple. You don't have to overcomplicate it. It's like, hey, want to hang out and do an interview? It's just that simple.
All right. That's good to hear. I think I personally overcomplicate this, and I think about, subject line strategies and like deliverability and like, how am I going to incentivize them? No one's going to want to collaborate with me.
You just find the communication lines, right? So it's first of just, you got to find a way to communicate. Sometimes that's email, could be a phone number, might be a contact us form on their website. Who knows what you find? You do the research, you find what communication lines that you can get with that person, and then you use them. You use those communication lines and you say, hey, I think you're awesome. Here's what I'd like to do. What do you think? That, it's really that simple.
All right. Okay. Not a question, but bad advice says I have failed many times starting in 2006, but I'm back again in 2024.
Welcome back.
I like the persistence and getting back up, even though, you might have failed in the past.
Yeah. I think too, I'll say for myself that if I think people look at, I've built a pretty good size audience. I realize I'm not super active on social media, and I don't have a big audience there, but where I do have a big audience is I have a big email list. Right. And I've been able to, turn that email list into a multi-million-dollar business just by sending them emails. And I think a lot of people will assume that there's some special knowledge or special skill or some special quality about, they'll look up and see people and consider them like guru status. I don't at all consider myself a guru. And I think that they'll look at them and go, oh, look, they did it because they're Russell Brunson, right? Oh, they're Mike Filsaime, or they're whoever it is that they're looking up to. And I'll tell you, for me, the reason I've been able to generate $100 million online is because I'm stubborn. That's it, right? Sure, there's been some clever strategies, and I try a lot, I experiment a lot. But the biggest thing is I'm stubborn. And if I decide I'm going to build a business, I don't easily quit. In fact, I probably go too far, honestly. But if I were to pick one thing, that is it. It is persistence and the willingness to fail and then figure out, well, why did I fail? Let's adjust, let's change, and let's go do it again. And it's kind of sometimes feels like I'm hitting my head against the wall repeatedly, right? And then eventually I go, oh, well, why did I fail? And I make an adjustment, and then I have a breakthrough. All right. But it's because of that persistence is the only reason I made it. That's it. Okay. Back to the questions.
Yes. This is from the motivational minister. He says, I have products, books. I have the lead magnet, but I don't get many daily leads. What's the best way to reach people to expose them to the lead magnet?
Well, I think the first thing you want to do is make sure you're measuring what's happening there properly. So do you know like exactly how many clicks and where they're coming from are going to your, your lead magnet offer? And then what is it converting at? So if you get 100 clicks to that lead magnet offer, how many signups do you get? And so that's the very first thing you want to do is make sure you're measuring it properly, because you can't, that process I just talked about, failing, adjusting, and trying again, you have to measure in order to be able to tell if you're making, if things are getting better or worse. So let me know if you're measuring that. And if you know how many, however you want to quantify it, how many clicks a day or a month you're getting and how many subscribers, we can work out what that conversion rate is. And also if you'd like, on a future show, I think we're running a little bit long today, but maybe on next week's show, if you would like, I'll pull up your landing page and maybe offer you some advice if you want to. I don't know if you want me to show your pages on the internet, but so I'd be happy to do that for you next week if you would like. But there you go. Let me know what you're measuring currently and what, some more precise numbers in terms of when you say you're not getting many subscribers, what does that mean exactly?
So you should email Nick at PushButton.ai, motivational minister, and I'll drop my email in the chat. He's interested, by the way, Bill. He'd like to do that.
Cool.
Yeah. So I'm going to tell him to email me, and then I'll follow up with him.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'd love to do that then. That'd be great.
All right. Okay, cool. I got that in. All right. This comes from My Duck. He says, I loved the impromptu comments about dealing with challenges and overcoming daily obstacles. Well done, Bill. Some of the best value of the day off the top. Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
It's just so true. I think, whether you want to call it slick marketing or we could blame social media, right? You always only see the best of people and you only see typically their awesome results and you don't see the struggle. All right. I know some pretty big names that have built, I can think of one guy who's built $100 million empire who he's had a lot of struggles that he's had to overcome to get there. And of course, I'm not saying he should broadcast them to the world, but if you go look at his social media, you see all of the wins and successes, and you don't know about the behind the scenes struggles that some of those people go through. Myself included. So, I think sometimes that can create a false picture in a new entrepreneur's mind who has not been through this before. And you get the feeling that you're just going to jump in and everything's going to be like, sunshine and rainbows. And often it's not. Sometimes it is. Sometimes, heck, it happens. Like I've definitely seen people start a business and it's like magic, right? And everything goes well. But that's not normal by any stretch. Producer Nick, you can attest to this with your own entrepreneurial efforts, right? It's a little roller coaster ride sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. But, we've had, big, during Q4 with the e-commerce stuff, sometimes we had a few days that were like multi-$1,000 days, which were crazy for me, being like 22 at the time. But if I had given up on the days that were not quite multi-$1,000 days, they would have never occurred. So, you know what? You know how we talked about in the slides, we talked about Jack Butcher and his
Yes.
visualized value brand.
Mm-hmm.
He the graphic that I use as an example for his work. I don't know if you still have the slides up, but that literally talks about it's a demo of what we're talking about. Here, let's see. I'll drop a link to the board in Discord if you want to go and find it. But I thought it reminded me. It's very similar to what we're talking about.
This one? Oh, yes,
Yeah.
I see now. Okay. So, yeah, it's like a flat line with small stats. And here's the thought. This is pointless. And right here is where I see so many people quit. Right there. Right. That's that 3 feet from gold phenomenon. They quit here just before the spike begins. That's so true.
I think for a lot of people who don't have some sort of support network or someone in their life like urging them or driving them or giving them encouragement to go forward during the this is pointless phase, I think they, that's all they need to go forward. It's purely like a mental phenomenon where the voices in their head are kind of telling them that, it's pointless and to not persist, but they just need someone in their life to kind of counteract that voice in their head telling them it's pointless. And I think that's why a lot of people find you helpful. Is because
I want to say real quickly here too that the sad thing is most people have the opposite. Right? Most people are surrounded by people who are not familiar with entrepreneurship and they don't understand this. And so you'll often get the exact opposite from your family, and I'm not saying your family's trying to sabotage you. They're not consciously trying to do that, but they're not familiar with entrepreneurship. So you might complain to them about, I spent $100 on ads and I didn't make a sale. And they're going to say, why are you doing that? That's a scam. You should quit. Right? That's going to be what an average person is going to say because they don't have the understanding. They don't understand how this works. They don't understand what the process is to go through because they've never done it. And they probably don't know anyone who's done it. So you often get that feedback from friends and family, unfortunately. And when you need the opposite, like you said, you need the motivation and inspiration to keep pushing despite that. One last thing I'll mention. This kind of applies. It's a really weird thing I'll talk about. And you know what? Maybe I'll pull it up here. Let me see if I can pull it up on the screen. So anybody here ever heard of the hype cycle? Have you heard of that, Nick?
I actually haven't, no.
Okay. Yeah, it's called the Gartner, if I'm pronouncing his name right, hype cycle. Let me see if I can find it in Wikipedia, and then I'll share it. There it is. Okay. So what's funny is it's not written about entrepreneurship. It's really written about new technologies. But what I find is this pattern. There's a science. It's something it's been codified by science of a pattern that happens over and over again, and it's predictable. And if we look here, I'm going to zoom in here on this. And what I find, this is applicable in individual people, this same cycle. Okay. And so this would be like a brand new technology hits the market, right? Like think about AI, and the hype, boom, goes through the roof. And up here at the top, people are very excited about this new technology, right? And then very often the technology doesn't quite work out and it drops down to this trough of disillusionment, right? And people become disillusioned with this new technology. And you can look at this like, I see this happen in battery technology, new computing technology, like weight loss, breakthroughs. I see this pattern over and over again, but I also see it in individuals. So let's say you learn about some new way to be an entrepreneur. Maybe you were on one of my webinars and you hear from me some awesome, exciting new way to be an entrepreneur. And you will go through this exact same cycle. So here's the trigger, right? So you hear it from me. You see how awesome it is. You attend one of my webinars, maybe you go do some research online, you go poke around and watch some YouTube videos, and your motivation and excitement peaks. There's your peak of inflated expectations, right? Your expectations are inflated. because you've never been through it before. So what do you don't know better. And so then things don't quite work out exactly how you hoped in your inflated expectations, and your emotions crash, right? And you end up down here in the trough of disillusionment. Oh, this is not working. I'm not getting traffic. I'm not getting sales. This is all just, it just isn't for me like this. And this is all happening here. Okay. And in this trough is where most people stop. They'll stop here, or they'll take a break, or they'll go try some other new business model or some other new strategy, and they bail, right? But it's by the persistence that we've been talking about that you ride this wave back up, the slope of enlightenment, right? As you begin to learn the reality of what does it actually take, and you end up here in the plateau of productivity, and you start to have a profitable business, right? So, even though it's a scientific creation to measure the population's responses to new technologies, this is applicable to individuals when they're starting a new business, especially a new business they know nothing about or very little about. Anybody relate to that? Have you ever gone through this? You'll learn about something exciting to become an entrepreneur, some new strategy. You end up here almost on a high with the peak of inflated expectations, only to crash down eventually when you actually try to get those results and then crash out at the bottom. Yeah. So yeah, anyway, talking about this today made me think of it. I was actually reading about the Gartner hype cycle a couple of days ago, and our conversation made me think of it. And you can look that up on Wikipedia, so you can see I didn't make it up. All right. Well, I think with that, do we have questions left? I took a lot of time here on my sidetrack, but hopefully that was useful.
We've got like 2 or 3 more.
Okay, let's bang them out, and then let's move on to the wrapping up the show, and we'll give out. We'll start up the contest.
Okay. The Blazing Marketer says, I'm working on a lead magnet course. My question is, do I need to have the other courses completed before I launch the free lead magnet course?
You do not. No, you do not. You can just, it's better to get started. So start giving it away, start building your list, and make sure you just communicate with your list. Don't let it go cold. So if you build your list, stay in touch with them, let them, give them content. Heck, you can even share links to news articles or other creators or other social media, but stay in touch with them and keep that bond warm. And then you can even talk to them about the course that they just signed up for. The point is, don't let that list go cold, and then keep collecting emails while you get your paid stuff ready, and then launch it to them when you're ready. Yeah.
Okay. And
excuse me. Blake, by the way, I found my opals in the move.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, remember I was talking about this on the show last week. And so right in the middle of packing up the office and moving, I found these. They're pretty darn cool. I don't know. Most of the audience probably doesn't really know much about opals, but can you see the fire in that one?
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. Here's another one. I don't know if that's coming through or not. My hobby. This one looks like it's pretty cool. It's got some interesting blue and green flashes. It almost looks like Walt made this in his lab. Anyway, this is what I like to do in my spare time, cut these things and turn them into little pieces of art. So,
all right. Blake has a question. He says he's really looking forward to the keyword tool. What about an AI ad writer you could use for Google Ads?
Yeah, that would, So Nick, you and I have been talking about that, I think.
We have, yeah.
And with Dylan, so maybe. Anyway, so yes, I will have more news about the keyword tool soon. It's looking really, really good. But yeah, it's a keyword tool that uses AI to help you find awesome keywords.
Oh, okay. Follow-up question from the Blazing Marketer about the question we asked about the lead magnet course. She says, okay, so if you don't have any of the other courses done when you launch your lead magnet, then what if somebody wants to see what the other courses are and some idea of their content?
Well, you just don't tell them, it's if you just communicate to them about the future courses and you can tease them with what information you have, and that's all you can do. Yeah. And or you just don't tell them about it at all until you're ready to launch them. That's all. Yeah.
A lot of people have waiting lists where they build lists and they give away lead magnets, but they don't have a paid offer yet. You hype it up.
Yeah, the key is to just make sure that relationship stays warm. Right? I see a lot of people make the mistake of they build a list and they don't mail it. So, which then the list becomes, they forget who you are. Some of the email addresses get undeliverable. It's just not good to let a list go cold. Yeah.
All right. Someone wants to know, how should I manage, and this is in response to, us talking about people being negative towards entrepreneurs in their life because they're misunderstood. Yeah. This is about that. This person says, how should I manage that negativity around me? I'm a beginner.
Well, there's a couple of things that you can do. The first thing is just to recognize it when you see it. The worst negative feedback is the negative feedback that you don't spot, and it sort of creeps its way into your mind, right? So first is be on the lookout for it, and you don't have to defend yourself. Like, that's the other thing I would say is don't defend yourself and don't turn it into like a battle of who's right. It's like, no, I'm right and you're wrong. So you can just simply acknowledge what they say. It's like, oh, well, thanks for sharing your opinions. How's the weather? Change the subject. I think so. Just be on the lookout for it and don't engage, right? Don't engage in a battle of who's right and who's wrong. That doesn't ever go well, right? It's funny, human nature. No one wants to admit they're wrong. And so when you have two people that are so stuck on being right, look at the American political system, right? We have two opposing forces who each has to be right and the other has to be wrong. Look at the insanity we have there. So that's what you don't want to trigger. So just look for it. Don't engage in a battle of who's right and who's wrong. Spot it for what it is, and then find someone who is inspirational. Whether maybe it's my show, tuning in and hanging out with us every week, or maybe it's finding a series of maybe there's plenty of YouTube channels that have just all it is loaded up with quotes from inspirational leaders and experts. So, those are some other things. So replace it with positivity, spot it for what it is, and don't engage in who's right and who's wrong. That's the simple solution to that.
All right. And okay, this is it. That is the last one. This is from Chris. This is a push button question. He says, my course is set up as a lead magnet. Do I need to set up another website to sell the next course?
You can sell it on the same site. Yeah. And yeah, that's what I would recommend is keep it all on the same site if you are able to. Yeah.
All right. And with that, we're all caught up and ready for the next thing.
All right. Fantastic. So we are going to do another giveaway. So we gave this out last week. It was very popular, so we're bringing it back again. And that is one lucky subscriber. So I'll tell you right now, to be eligible, you need to subscribe. So make sure you're logged into YouTube, and you'll see the red subscribe button below me somewhere. Make sure you're subscribed. If it's red and it says subscribe, you're not subscribed. So you must click it and become a subscriber. And then in just a minute, we're going to share with you the latest video we released here on the channel. And here's how it's going to work. You go watch that video, watch the whole thing, okay? So you need to be subscribed, you need to watch the whole video, and then at the end, when it's done, post a question to me in the comments, okay? In the comments, simply ask me your biggest question. Now, this video that we're going to be releasing this link for is all about how to start an email list from scratch, which is very applicable to what we're talking about here today, right? So you can build an email list. How do you get a bunch of subscribers that you can then, make money with? So we're going to talk about that. And the title is How to Start an Email List in 2024 If I Had to Start Over. And how to make $22,000 with just 500 subscribers. So who's interested in that? So all you got to do is watch that video. Watch it to the end, drop a comment to tell me your biggest question about the content, right? It needs to be about the content of that video. Give me your biggest question in the comments. And what we're going to do, there's a tool that we use to randomly pick comments. So we're going to randomly select one of the commenters on that video, and we're going to give you it'll be your choice. If you're the winner, you can choose either an Apple or Android tablet. So it'll be an iPad or Android tablet, and we'll ship it to your door. And last week, it was Ken Davis. That's right. Ken was the winner. And this week, maybe it'll be you. So Producer Nick, if you can pop that in if you haven't already. Oh, you did it. Beat me to it. Let me see if I can pin that. Let's see here. Okay, good. And you should pin, well, that's fine. So, so just click that link, watch the video to the end, drop your comment. Now, don't forget, you need to be a subscriber to be eligible. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel and do those things. So 3 things: be a subscriber, watch the video, give me your biggest question, and then you are eligible to win. Right? Now, this helps us as well. So it helps with engagement and other signals that it sends to YouTube to help give that video a good shot at getting a lot of exposure. And your help will be greatly appreciated. And I've got that juicy bribe to help inspire you. I think with that, we're going to be wrapping up in a moment. Is there any other questions? Anything else we need to do today, Nick, before we wrap it up?
One more thing. Ken, he's here. He popped in.
Oh.
And yeah. So just reach out to help@pushbutton.ai and coordinate, and we'll get you the iPad.
There you go. So congratulations. So, and I'll repeat that just so you know, Ken, so reach out, just email, make sure you email, say, hey, I'm the winner from the YouTube show. Here's my contact information, and then my team will make the arrangements and get you your prize.
And that's it.
All right. Then I have one question for you, Nick.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Okay, that's not a good question. Finding another one. Wow, ChatGPT is like really failing at this now. Looks like I need to start a new thread here.
Oh no.
Okay, come on. Oh. It's just repeating all the old jokes from the past.
Did you include in your prompt, don't repeat? No recycling jokes allowed?
Yeah. Okay, well, here's one I'll ask. I don't know if we've done this one in the past. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Why did the tomato turn red?
Why?
Because it's all the salad dressing.
Okay. All right. That's like another decent one. That one didn't strike me as like a crazy joke, but it's like a light 6. It's decent.
A light 6. Okay, so like a 6.2.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. Well, on that note, we're going to be wrapping things up here today. So don't forget, go click the link that's pinned in the chat, and we'll pop it once this show ends. I'll also drop it as a comment on this video. And then we'll run the contest for the next, let's see, what time is it? So we'll run this for the next 3 hours. So we'll leave it open for the next 3 hours, and then we will pick randomly a winner. So there you go. Go watch that video. So you do it now before the clock runs out. Drop me your biggest question, and you'll be eligible for the iPad. And producer Nick, thanks for your help today. And hey, everybody, thank you so much for being patient with all my weird technical issues today. I appreciate that. And I hope you got a lot of value out of today's show. And on that note, we will see you next week. We're back next Wednesday, 2 o'clock, just like always. I'll see you then. Bye for now. Yet a member of PushButton AI, then what are you doing? So I would like to invite you to a free masterclass. We're going to be covering in detail how to create an entire digital online course, an entire business, in fact, that can be set up 100% using AI. And if you'd like to attend that free masterclass, what you're going to want to do is head over right now to pushbutton.ai/free class. In that class, I'm going to show you how we can help 2 different kinds of people. Number 1, if you've got a business and you want to add training, courses, or information to your existing business as a new profit center, or maybe a way to add value to your customers, then I'm going to show you how to do a detailed 10-module training course, including 50 to 60,000 words of content. Have it set up and built for you by AI. Also, if you're trying to start your first business online and you're looking for a great business model to make some money online, then PushButton AI is the right solution. And I'll show you how you can use this amazing tool to build an entire business like that. In a snap, PushButton AI will build an entire course for you, create video training, audio training, write your sales page for you, write 30 days of emails for you, create your logo, build your website, set up your shopping cart, set the entire thing up, create a members area so that people can pay you to get access to the course, and you get to charge money and keep all the profits. It's quite easy. You answer 2 questions and you hit a button, and it literally does everything for you. A logo, a 30-day email sequence, your sales pages for selling your product. It creates the entire training course that you can charge money for. It installs your website, sets up your hosting, launches your site. It even helps you pick the perfect domain name, all powered by AI. You just literally log in and start up your brand new business. So attend the free masterclass. I'll show you a live demo of how it works. I'll explain the entire business model so you can see exactly how does it work and how do you profit. That's pushbutton.ai/free class. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button. You'll see it down below the video down there somewhere. Hit subscribe, hit the like button. It actually will make sure that you're notified next time that we go live. We release content all throughout the week, by the way. So we have videos on additional strategies and tactics we'll be dropping to you all week long. Check out all of our useful content. Head over to pushbutton.ai/free class if you're not yet a customer. Every paying customer, we're going to be taking today's training. We'll take all the prompts, all the resources, everything that you need to use it, and we're going to put it in your paid members area. So you'll see it in your AI profits course inside your members area. On that note, I'll see you there. Bye for now.
You can now launch your own online business with the click of a mouse. Sounds crazy, right? Guess what? It's now possible thanks to our game-changing AI software that's helping beginners build a successful online business. If you have tried and failed at building an online business or you've got no idea where to start, there is good news for you. We are entering a new exciting era of AI, and I'm here to teach you how to use it to build and grow an online business. Because I'm handing you a blueprint, a business in a box powered by AI, and it's called PushButton AI. Imagine a tool so smart it does all the heavy lifting for you. Builds an info product business, sets up hosting, launches the website, and even crafts engaging email sequences. Here's the thing. This isn't like anything else out there, and this is based on what's working right now. PushButton AI is based on my experience of generating over $100 million over the last 20 years and helping over 81,942 customers build and grow their own online businesses. If you'd like to find out more about this, register now and dive into my free live demo to uncover strategies and traffic tricks that will pivot your business and skyrocket your online business from surviving to thriving. Imagine what your life would look like today if you bought Bitcoin when it was $1. You now have the same opportunity with PushButton AI since nobody else is doing this. Don't miss out this time.
The presidents, celebrities, or characters in this video are all fake and generated by artificial intelligence.
You know, the other day while I was resting my eyes, I woke up to find that I'd built an entire online business.
Really, Joe? How'd you manage to do that?
Well, you see,
Wait a minute, Sleepy Joe. Let me guess. You had PushButton AI do all the work, didn't you?
That's right, Donald. It found me a fantastic domain name, built out a complete site, set up my shopping cart so I can get paid, and even wrote an entire email sales campaign for me, all while I was napping.
Well, I've been using PushButton AI too. And believe me, my new business, it's huge. The best. So much winning. You wouldn't believe.
This PushButton AI sounds phenomenal.
Oh, it is. It's almost as genius as I am.
But with better hair, no doubt.
Guys, all this talk is boring to me. What everyone needs to do is click the link of this video and go to the masterclass to see how to use this powerful technology to build their own profitable online business.
Well, if Elon says it, it must be worth a shot.
You're right, Barry. Everyone should click the link right now.
I can't believe I'm going to agree with Joe, but this masterclass sounds like it's going to be huge. Absolutely terrific. The best masterclass ever given, probably.
Okay, guys, how about we hit that link? Time is money.